Thanks. I love paradoxes, and computing is full of paradoxes. You can make money writing free software. One of the fastest sorting algorithms works at its worst when you give it already sorted data, and you've got a Luddite teaching computer science, a closet Luddite. But one of the interesting things is that since the year 2000, as we've needed more people in computing, the number of people enrolling in computer science has plummeted. And it's really interesting to look at why have these enrolments plummeted in the Western world. And a lot of it comes down to the image that people have of computing and what they think it's really about, which often is an image that is associated with social graces that people might not want, and media that are happy to report negative things rather than positive things. But in general, kids just don't understand what computer science and what computing could really be about. And so enter Computer Science Unplugged, which is a program that I've been involved in developing, where we use games and toys and things like that to try and get kids interested through kinesthetic activities that get them involved in using computers in computing without using computers, without even programming. So there's Unplugged is a collection of a couple of dozen games and card tricks and magic tricks and so on, where you can actually deal with concepts from computer science without actually programming or even using a computer. So, for example, here is just one of the many. This is a challenge for kids where they have to find a way to get from Pirates Island to Treasure Island. There are two ships that leave each island, and the pirates will take you on ship A or ship B, and you can choose one, but the map doesn't tell you where it's going to take you. Now, we get them out on the playground running around, and they'll run up to an island and say, I want ship A or B, and that'll send them off to another island, and they hope eventually they'll get to Treasure Island. Without any instruction, they'll generally put together this map for themselves, which may end up basically looking like what a computer scientist would call a finite state automaton. And a finite state automaton isn't rocket science. This is what it looks like. You could put one together. But now we can start to use this thing to reason, how do you get to Treasure Island? What's another way to get to Treasure Island? And then we can look at what the computer scientist would use them for. For example, generating text, generating information, or for checking information. Everyone who writes a computer program, it's going through a finite state automaton that's checking that you've written the right stuff. And there are other applications for these finite state automata. So, for example, understanding an interface. Here's a simple interface. It's a digital watch with two buttons, A and B. Press button A and it becomes a stopwatch. Press B and the stopwatch starts running. And suddenly we end up trying to put together a map to understand this interface that is the same as running around this frustrating Treasure Island thing, trying to get to the treasure. Here's another unplugged activity. This girl is sorting weights that all look the same, but into orders from lightest to heaviest, and all she can do is compare two at a time. It's constructivist. We get her simply to try and figure out how to do it. You can watch the video online. She manages to use quicksort. Hope some of you are impressed. This is a parallel sorting network, so we get into parallel algorithms. These kids are running around in a playground. Whenever they meet at a chalk, I brought my chalk to this camp, whenever they meet at one of those circles, the one with the smaller number goes left, the larger number goes right, and when they get out the other end of this network, they're in sorted order. This is really popular. In fact, one girl asked for it for her birthday party, which I thought was the ultimate compliment. So, it's not just activities that kids can do in schools, but we've got all sorts of formats. It's been translated into 14 languages. It's really popular around the world, so you can get it pretty much in a language of your choice. Interesting cultural issues that come up when you translate ideas that worked in New Zealand and you try and do them in some other countries, and so that's been an interesting thing to explore. We've also got a lot of videos, and one of the most popular ones that has been this one here. It's a 1-hour show. These two computer science students ran a show with 60 kids, and it was just an hour of hilarity and interaction and running around, but they were doing what those of us who do computer science would recognise as hardcore computer science. This is finding its way into curricula. It wasn't really the intention, but it's appearing around the world as things that people use for teaching. But the key thing is, in fact, I don't really worry too much, even if we don't have lots and lots of computer science. A woman called Edna Kerr once said that the greatest tragedy I know of is that so many young people never discover what they really want to do. And I think the best thing we can do is communicate to young kids what this is about, so that if they find it interesting, particularly girls who don't think that they will find it interesting, can get involved. And if they do find it interesting, if they don't find it interesting, they don't get involved. Now, I've got a challenge for people at the camp because I think we've got a unique mixture of skills here. One of our activities involves doing binary numbers, just using cards. Find someone who knows binary numbers or get the cards. But we've put together a video that contains a whole lot of binary numbers that are coded as a song. And it's the high and low notes in the songs are the ones and zeros. If you decode it, it will tell you how to win a prize. No one has won the prize yet. It's only been up for a month. I brought cool stuff that you can have if someone can decode this video. So that's my challenge for you for the camp. The stuff's all free. It's online here. The video's at our YouTube channel, or come and see me and I'll give it to you on a clip drive, which will save wearing out the network here. Thank you very much.